Rudolf Steiner. Seek the truly practical life, but seek it in such a way that it does not blind you to the Spirit working in it. Seek the Spirit, but seek it not out of spiritual greed, but so that you may apply it in the genuinely practical life. A healthy social life is found only when, in the mirror of each soul, the whole community finds its reflection, and when, in the whole community, the virtue of each one is living. To be free is to be capable of thinking one's own thoughts, not the thoughts merely of the body or of society, but the thoughts generated by one's deepest, most original, most essential, and spiritual self, one's individuality. For every human illness, somewhere in the world, there exists a plant which is the cure. I believe that there is a healing potential locked inside plants, which is integral with their evolution, just as it is part of human evolution to learn to tap this wonderful gift of nature. All of nature begins to whisper its secrets to us through its sounds. Sounds that were previously incomprehensible to our soul now become the meaningful language of nature. The stars once spoke to man. It is world destiny that they are silent now, but in their silence, there grows and ripens what man speaks to the stars. To truly know the world, look deeply within your own being. To truly know yourself, take real interest in the world. In the future, no human being is to find peace in the enjoyment of happiness if others beside him are unhappy. You have no idea how unimportant is all that the teacher says or does not say on the surface, and how important what he himself is as a teacher. The history of our spiritual life is a continuing search for the unity between ourselves and the world. Beauty is not the divine in a cloak of physical reality, no. It is the physical reality in a cloak that is divine. The artist does not bring the divine onto the earth by letting it flow into the world. He raises the world into the sphere of the divine. For every one step that you take in the pursuit of higher knowledge, take 3 steps in the perfection of your own character. Live through deeds of love, and let others live with tolerance for their unique intentions. For what lies inside the human being is the whole spiritual cosmos in condensed form. In our inner organisms, we have an image of the entire cosmos. Knowledge of life in the astral world leads us to a conclusion of fundamental importance, namely that the physical world is the product of the astral world. Love starts when we push aside our ego and make room for someone else. When the past has taught us that we have more within us than we have ever used, our prayer is a cry to the divine to come to us and fill us with its power. Thinking is the most unhealthy thing in the world, and people die of it, just as they die from any other disease. The time has come to realize that supersensible knowledge has now to arise from the materialistic grave. What is independent of our bodily makeup? We are all individually made. Each one of us is his or her own self, an individual. Those who judge human beings according to generic characteristics only reach the boundary beyond which people begin to be beings whose activity is based on free self-determination. I look at the bird in the cage and see the air, not only the air that is around the bird when it flies, but I see and feel the formative tendency of air in its form. When I do all this, then what lives in the forms becomes enlivened and spiritualized for me. The thing itself is one. The images are many. What leads to a perceptive understanding of the thing is not the focus on one image, but the viewing of many images together. If we do not believe within ourselves this deeply rooted feeling that there is something higher than ourselves, we shall never find the strength to evolve into something higher. Two things are possible. One can stop at the result of natural science, or one can investigate how scientists proceed in order to arrive at scientific results. One path of overcoming materialism in our times is to understand the methods of scientific research. In the universe, we have not to do with repetitions. Each time that a cycle is passed, something new is added to the world's evolution and to its human stage of development. Music is the expression of the will of nature, while all other arts are expressions of the idea of nature. A real medicine can only exist when it penetrates into a knowledge that embraces the human being in respect to body, soul, and spirit. Which quote inspired you the most? Do let us know in the comment section below. Until then, stay positive and motivated.